Hi everybody, today we're making Greek souvlaki, the #1 item in every Greek barbecue. Stay till the end of the video to see what you need to do. One question I get frequently is what sort of meat one needs for Greek souvlaki. I always opt for pork, of course, but shoulder steaks. The reason why we're getting shoulder steaks and not any other type of pork chop is that you need the ones that got the fat inside, because this fat will drain away and melt away as it's cooking nicely on the barbecue and leave the meat nice and moist. So what you need to do is get a few wooden sticks. You can use the metal ones as well, but I think the wooden ones are a bit nicer. Make sure that you put them under some water first, because if they're very dry, then they might catch fire as you're putting them on the barbecue. And what you need to do is take your chop and then cut it in about 1 inch thick cubes. It's important that you set them out as cubes because you're gonna have to fit them into your nice skewers over here. So it's not really a difficult job to do. What you can also do is you can try and trace in the fat, the elements of fat, so you've got them a little bit easier to note, and it exposes the fat so it can cook and drain away easier when your skewer is cooking on the barbecue. So check this out. We've got them now in about perhaps 1 centimeter thick and 1 inch long, like 1.5 centimeters long cubes. They're all roughly the same size. Don't obsess over it. It doesn't need to be exactly the same size. And what you're trying to do is pass them through your skewer. Be careful not to stab yourself as you're doing this. So hold them in something like this and then pass it through. Don't put your hand in the middle and then you injure your hand. And go through every piece, pushing it downwards like this. If you make a mistake, you can take it out and slot it back in. We've got 4 or 5 steaks here, so pretty much we're going to have a skewer per steak, which probably is enough for a portion for a grown-up. Now, depending where you live, sometimes you get really nice helpings and nice portions, and sometimes you get them really small. So I think this is pretty much sufficient in terms of size. Check this out, right? So we're gonna chop all of them, fit them into our skewers, and then we're gonna leave them in the fridge. We're not gonna season them at this stage. We're gonna season them right before we put them on the barbecue to cook. Now we're going to prepare the marinade for our souvlaki. We're starting off with lemons, because lemon juice is one of the most important ingredients. Then some olive oil. You pretty much need double the amount of lemon juice to the amount of olive oil you have. Some pepper. Garlic granules. Onion granules. Salt. Don't be afraid of making this a little bit salty, because this is just for the marinade. It's gonna wash off the souvlaki as they're cooking. And a good amount of dry oregano. Give it all a good mix. And here's your marinade ready to drizzle on the beautiful souvlaki as they're cooking. Here are our souvlaki. They've been resting in the fridge for a few hours, and now they're ready to cook. We're going to drizzle them with the wonderful marinade that we made earlier, and that is going to give them that beautiful taste, that kind of lemony, olive oil, herb infused taste. You'll notice that the way they've been sitting tightly packed together, they're now completely square, as if they came out of a machine. They look like the ones that you would have in any taverna in Greece, and they've been homemade with ingredients that you can find in any supermarket in the UK. So what we're gonna do is make sure that they're coated with the marinade on all sides immediately before cooking, and then we're gonna marinate them. We're going to give them a little bit of a drizzle again when they're on the fire, as we're turning them around, to make sure that all this wonderful taste infuses everywhere. There we go. We're waiting for our fire to die down, because if it's got a lot of flame, it might burn them a little bit on the outside. So we want the fire to be low, hot, but low without a lot of flame. Our fire is hot, the flame has died out, and now is the time to put them on. They're going to take about 15 minutes to cook, perhaps a little bit longer, depending how thick you've made them and how even the fire is on your grill. Now that our skewers have a bit of color, we need to remember to give them another coating of the marinade. That's gonna help the flavors sip in and stay with the meat. The best thing to have with your souvlaki is a little bit of bread. And a good trick of the trade is to rest your bread on top of the meat as it's cooking, so it soaks up all the nice lovely juices and it becomes super tasty. You can tell that we're getting close to the end of our cooking time because we're getting this nice color around our meat. Check this out. We are ready. Serving suggestion: put your toasted bread at the bottom and your souvlaki on the top. So the wonderful juice and flavor from the souvlaki is going to drip on the bread. Check this out. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments when you tried it if you've enjoyed it. Thank you, and see you next time.